What's up, YouTube? It's Steph Michael, and I'm making this video to kind of get something off my chest, man. This is something that I've always thought about, like even as a kid and then as a young adult to where I am now. And that's like, from the time that we come into this world and we enter into the educational system, we are beginning to get molded by society. And what I feel like we are being molded in a way that causes us to not flourish. You know what I'm saying? Because from the time that we enter into grade school, we're all being judged and shaped and molded by the same system. And surely we weren't all put in this world to be the same. We are all born with different gifts, different talents, things that we excel at, things that we're naturally inclined towards. For some people, it's dance. For some people, it's art. For some people, it's, writing, or for some people, it's math. For some people, it's, you know, whatever the case is. We all have different gifts and different talents and different things to offer to the world. But the sad thing about this world system when we come into it is that from the moment that we can begin to cultivate those gifts, it's sucked out of us. Instead of being encouraged and inspired to pursue that which makes us an individual, we are molded into a system that grades us and shapes us and assesses us all by one universal standard. And I feel like that is detrimental. That's why when we look at the world today, we see most people not living a life that is fulfilling to them. You see most people have a job that makes them miserable. So the title of this video is called Escaping Societal Norms, or whatever I decide to title this video, because I think it is an important message today to encourage people to start really exploring and figuring it out what it is that will cause them to live a life that's most fulfilling to them. Because first off, we only have so much time on this earth. We only have so much time in this experience, in this world. And why should we spend that time miserable? I think we should make it count. So, the first step I feel like to really gaining freedom in this world is starting to live a life that you love. And, that we all have to pursue that journey from wherever we are. Some of us have a clean slate where we may not have much going on, and we can just decide to completely start and embark on a new journey from scratch. And some of us have many obligations and responsibilities to consider when we're considering, rebuilding our life and, going after this new vast, abstract journey to discover who it is we are or what it is that we want to spend the rest of our years doing. But I think one thing that's kind of like a catalyst for every single one of us to really enjoy a life, and enjoy life and live a life that we love, is for us to somehow discover what our passions are, and then for us to turn our passions into a means of us freeing ourselves financially. For most, I won't say for all, because for some, a job is what fulfills them. For some, the corporate world is what fulfills them, and they don't necessarily have as much as a need to control their time. But for most of us, I think we want to be able to have more control of our time and, to do things that we love, be able to take a vacation when we can, to spend more time with our family, to have a healthier work-life balance, to have a healthier family life, to be less stressed, and in turn be less sick from the stress and, less depressed. So I think it's important that, we kind of just step back, and for us adults that we even step way back to our childhood and try to identify the moment where our dreams and our gifts were really sucked out of us, and then we started to shape our life based on the fears of meeting the societal norms. So for some of us, we can look back at a time in our life and recognize a moment like, wow, when I was a kid, I really loved to do this. This is what I was naturally inclined toward. It came so easy and so natural for me. And, maybe, that is the very substance that we need to be living our life for. And we have been so far removed from it. You know what I'm saying? Because, an elephant is great. A whale is great. An eagle is great. But you know, we can't all judge the elephant, the eagle, and the whale by the same standards, you know, because a whale doesn't fly and an eagle doesn't swim the deeps of the ocean. And like, the elephant is majestic in its own right, the largest land mammal. You know what I'm saying? So like, we can't judge a bird by the standards of a lion. You know, they're all equally great in their own regards. And I think nature teaches us, you know, individuality. It teaches us the different dynamics of creation. So, you know, it makes sense that there's a lot of misery in the world because people aren't living a life that's true to them. You know, some of us are lions, some of us are whales, some of us are elephants, but we're all living by the same societal norms that kind of drowned out our nature, the things that we were put here to do, the things that would make us the most happy. So I just want to make this video to encourage everybody out there. Look, you may have invested your whole life into building a reality all based off societal pressures, and now you're miserable. You may have money, you may not have money. You may have a career, you may not. But if you're miserable, is that truly the way you want to live the rest of your days? I know I don't. So I just want to encourage you to get back in tune with who you were as a child. Try to remember. You know, and if you can't remember, start to open your mind up to new things. You know, start to embark on a journey that brings you happiness little by little. You know, it is up to us to transform our lives and turn it into what we want it to be. And also, if we spend all of our days on this earth miserable because we did nothing and we just accepted what life brought to us, if we just accepted what society told us we could have, then that is also on us. And we can't blame that on anybody. So I want to just encourage you just to take time to reconnect with your true self, your true being, and to meditate and think about, envision the life that you would prefer to have, and start thinking about practical steps to get there. For some of us, we can just go all out, but if you do have many financial responsibilities and things to consider when, you know, thinking about reshaping your life, then just understand that. Don't use that as an excuse. Oh, I have kids, I have a mortgage, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, that is an excuse. Anything is possible to him who believes. So if you have a will to do something, you will do it. If you don't, you won't. Don't make an excuse. Don't succumb to fear. You have to understand that if you do have many obligations that will cause you to not be able to just run on some new journey reshaping your life, then you need to understand that you have to do it in smaller steps. You know, you have to do it in more practical steps for you. So that may be spending 5 minutes out of each day doing something that you wouldn't normally do. Do a crossword puzzle. You know, doodle on some paper. Write a poem. You know, read something you wouldn't normally read. It's time to, in order to change our lives, we have to change our mind. And that is the whole process of changing our lives, literally, changing our mind. Changing our mind is literally how we shape our reality. So begin to change your mind in smaller increments. Begin to expose yourself to newer things. Begin to change your habits, transform your habits. Because if you can transform your habits, you can transform your life. You know, you have to begin dedicating less time to things that don't serve you in your future and dedicate it to things that improve your quality of life and your well-being. All right, I won't keep this video long. This will be short. If you enjoyed this video, please like and follow my Facebook page. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Steph Michael. Also subscribe to my social media, which will be posted below. Thank you.